Your brain is lying to you. It whispers that comfort right now is more important than success tomorrow, that scrolling a little longer, eating something sweet, or skipping today's workout won't matter. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It always matters. Most people think procrastination, distraction, or bad habits are a sign of weakness. They beat themselves up thinking they just lack willpower. But the reality is far deeper and far more universal. You are not broken, you are human, and humans were never designed to optimize for tomorrow. For most of history, survival was about right now. Our ancestors didn't need to worry about 5-year plans or retirement savings. They needed to find food before nightfall, escape predators, and conserve energy. If you wasted energy planning for a future that might never come, you risked death. And so, evolution hardwired our brains to value immediate comfort and safety over long-term rewards. That's why scrolling through your phone feels better than studying, why spending feels easier than saving, why junk food wins over a clean meal. Your brain doesn't care about 6 months from now. It cares about surviving this moment with the least resistance possible. But here's the twist. The same brain that helped us survive in the wild is the one sabotaging us in modern life. In today's world, success isn't about who reacts fastest to danger. It's about who can delay gratification, resist distraction, and build for the future. And that creates a brutal mismatch. The very instincts that once kept you alive are now holding you back. And unless you learn how to rewire this ancient bias, you'll keep giving in to the short term, while your future self pays the price. So here's the real question. If our brains are wired for survival today, how do we train them to thrive tomorrow? That's exactly what we'll uncover in this video. To understand why your brain betrays you, we need to rewind thousands of years, back to when survival wasn't about careers, investments, or gym progress. It was about making it through the day. Imagine being one of our ancestors. Food is scarce. Predators lurk nearby. Weather can turn deadly overnight. In that world, your brain had one job: keep you alive until tomorrow. That meant prioritizing immediate rewards over distant ones. If you found honey, you ate it all. If you had a chance to rest, you didn't push through fatigue, you saved your energy. Long-term planning simply wasn't useful in a world where the future was uncertain. This survival wiring created what psychologists call present bias, the tendency to overvalue short-term comfort and undervalue long-term benefits. It's why your brain tells you that watching one more episode is better than working on your project. It's not laziness, it's evolution whispering, save your energy, take the easy reward. But here's the trap. That wiring still runs your nervous system today, even though the environment has completely changed. Modern success doesn't come from grabbing what's in front of you. It comes from patience, consistency, and long-term strategy, the exact opposite of what evolution prepared us for. This mismatch is why people sabotage their own goals. Your brain isn't concerned with your future business, your future health, or your future wealth. It's concerned with right now, and unless you recognize this trap, you'll keep falling for it. But here's the opportunity. Once you understand that your instincts aren't designed for modern success, you can stop blaming yourself and start retraining your brain. Because the truth is, our biology was built for survival, but with awareness and discipline, we can rewire it for greatness. Now that we know evolution wired us for survival, let's zoom in on how that plays out in your everyday life. Psychologists call it present bias, the brain's tendency to overvalue what feels good right now and undervalue what's better for you later. Here's how it works. Your brain is fueled by dopamine, the chemical that rewards you when you do something pleasurable. Eat sugar, dopamine spike. Scroll TikTok, dopamine spike. Hit next episode, dopamine spike. These little hits feel incredible in the moment, but they trick your brain into chasing quick wins over lasting rewards. Now compare that to long-term goals: saving money, training in the gym, studying for an exam. These don't come with immediate dopamine surges. In fact, your brain treats them as energy costs without a payoff. And that's why they feel so much harder, even though they lead to the life you actually want. A classic example of this is the marshmallow test. Psychologists gave children one marshmallow and told them they could eat it now, or wait 15 minutes and get two. Decades later, researchers tracked these kids. The ones who waited had better grades, healthier relationships, stronger careers, and even better health outcomes. Why? Because they had learned to overcome present bias. They trained themselves to see the bigger reward beyond the quick hit. Here's the painful truth. Your brain is biased against your own future. It wants you to choose the donut instead of the diet, the nap instead of the workout, the impulse purchase instead of the investment. Not because you're weak, but because your biology still thinks you're living in a world where tomorrow isn't guaranteed. But in today's world, the opposite is true. The future is where all the rewards live. Success, wealth, strength, mastery, they're all delayed. And if you don't learn how to outsmart your brain's present bias, you'll keep trading your future potential for fleeting comfort. Here's the real problem. Our brains are running on ancient software in a modern world. Thousands of years ago, present bias made sense. If you found food, you ate it. If you saw shelter, you used it. Survival meant choosing now over later. But today, that same bias is wrecking our potential. Think about money. Your brain tells you, spend it, enjoy it now. That instinct made sense when resources were rare and unpredictable, but in today's economy, wealth comes from saving and investing, choices that require patience your brain doesn't naturally have. Or fitness. Skipping a workout saves energy right now and your nervous system celebrates that decision. But fast forward a few years and the cost is weakness, fatigue, and poor health or focus. Scrolling through your phone feels better than studying, working, or creating something meaningful. Your brain is rewarding distraction because it provides an immediate dopamine hit. Meanwhile, the big projects, the ones that could change your life, get left undone. This is the evolutionary mismatch. Our instincts are calibrated for survival in the wild, not success in a modern, opportunity-rich world. And here's the kicker. The gap between what feels good now and what pays off later has never been wider. Technology, fast food, social media, everything is engineered to hijack your brain's wiring and keep you stuck in the cycle of instant gratification. That's why so many people feel stuck. They want the future, health, wealth, purpose, but their brain keeps dragging them back to comfort. And the worst part? They blame themselves, thinking they're lazy or weak. But it's not weakness, it's wiring. Here's the shift. Once you recognize that your struggles are rooted in biology, not character flaws, you stop fighting yourself and start fighting the bias. And that's where change begins. If our brains are wired for survival today instead of success tomorrow, the question becomes, how do we fight back? The answer isn't to magically erase your biology. You can't. The answer is to retrain it. Think of your brain like a muscle. Right now, your comfort muscle is strong and your discipline muscle is weak. But just like training in the gym, you can flip that balance through consistent practice. Step 1. Micro delays. Start by practicing small acts of waiting. Before eating, pause for 1 minute. Before checking your phone, wait 5 minutes. These tiny pauses signal to your brain, I don't need the reward right now. Over time, that rewires your default response from instant action to mindful control. Step 2. Reframe the struggle. Most people interpret discomfort as a warning sign. This is hard, so I should stop. But discomfort is actually proof that you're growing. Every rep in the gym, every hour of deep work, every day you resist a craving is evidence that you're rewiring your brain. Start celebrating discomfort as the currency of progress. Step 3. Anchor to identity. Instead of telling yourself, I'm trying to be disciplined, say, I am a disciplined person. Identity is powerful. When you identify as the kind of person who saves, trains, studies, and persists, your actions begin to follow automatically. You're not fighting for discipline, you're simply acting in alignment with who you already are. And here's the truth. You don't need to eliminate instant gratification completely, you just need to tip the scales. If you can resist short-term temptation more often than you give in, the compounding effect takes over. Your future self starts collecting the rewards your present self once threw away. Rewiring your brain doesn't happen overnight, but neither did your old habits. Just as repetition carved your present bias, repetition can carve resilience. The more you practice, the more natural patience, discipline, and self-control become. This is how you override the evolutionary trap. You stop being a prisoner of biology and start becoming the architect of your own future. Here's the shift that changes everything. Every decision you make is a vote for the person you'll become. When you choose comfort, you're voting for the present self. When you choose discipline, you're voting for the future self. The version of you that's stronger, wealthier, healthier, and more resilient. The problem? Your brain doesn't naturally think about that future self. In fact, neuroscience shows that when people imagine themselves decades from now, their brain activity looks almost the same as when they imagine a stranger. That's why saving money, training hard, or studying for years feels so unnatural. Your brain literally treats future you like someone else. So, how do you close that gap? You start training for your future self, not against your present self. Tool number 1, visualization. Take time every day to picture the future you're building, not just the goals, but the feeling. Imagine walking into the home you earned, holding the degree you fought for, standing in the body you trained for. The clearer the image, the stronger the pull. Tool number 2, reverse gratitude. Instead of only being grateful for what you have now, thank your past self for the hard choices they made. Did you work out yesterday? Thank you for showing up yesterday. Did you save money last month? Thank that version of you. This reinforces the loop. Today's sacrifice is tomorrow's gratitude. Tool number 3, ritualize the process. Champions don't rely on willpower. They build rituals that protect their future. Morning routines, workout schedules, focus blocks. These aren't chores, they're investments. They make it easier for your future self to win because the present self is locked into systems that keep progress automatic. And here's the deeper truth. The more often you choose the future over the now, the more you start to identify with that future. Your future self stops being a stranger, it becomes you. And once that happens, discipline stops feeling like sacrifice. It feels like self-respect. Every rep, every page, every dollar saved is proof. You're not just surviving the present, you're training for the future. Your brain was designed for survival, not success. It was built to grab the quick reward, to avoid discomfort, to focus on now instead of later. And if you live only by that wiring, you'll always be stuck in the loop of short-term pleasure and long-term regret. But here's the truth. You are not your impulses. You are not your present bias. You are the one who decides whether to stay a prisoner of biology or to rise above it. Every time you resist the urge for the quick hit, you're building strength. Every time you choose the harder path, you're voting for your future self. Every time you delay gratification, you're proving that you can outgrow the instincts that once ruled your ancestors. That's the hidden power most people never tap into. They think discipline is suffering. They think patience is weakness. But in reality, delayed gratification is power. Self-control is freedom. Long-term thinking is the edge that separates the few who build greatness from the many who stay average. So remember this, your survival brain wants comfort, but your higher mind wants growth. Which one are you going to feed? If you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever wondered why progress feels slow or why success feels out of reach, understand this. The game is rigged against you. Your biology pushes for the now. But if you choose to train, to rewire, to discipline yourself, you stop playing the game on instinct and you start playing it on strategy. And when you do that, the results compound. The future you dream of stops being a fantasy and starts being a destination. So here's my final message. The strongest people aren't the ones who move the fastest. There is an who can wait the longest. If you can master the wait, you can master anything. If this resonated with you, subscribe to Unbreakable Mind and keep building with me because here, we don't settle for survival. We train for greatness.